This is KUGAN CASSIUS for iFull TV in association with MTK Global. We're at the press conference for Saunders versus Murray, Flanagan versus Hooker, April the 14th at the O2.
That's where it is.
That's where it is.
It's going to be a good night, good night's boxing. Two really good fights, quality fights, and we're going to have a really excellent undercard, which we're announcing next week.
Straight off the back of the ever so impressive win in Canada that me and you were both at, Frank, against the Mew. He's coming up against Martin Murray, and we spoke about Martin Murray in the press conference there. That this is his 5th world title shot, and he was desperately unlucky, especially against Martinez and Felix Sturm.
Absolutely, there's no doubt about that. It is. I think it is his last roll of the dice as far as that. And Martin's a tough competitor. He's not frightened of going in the other guy's backyard. A bit like Bill, they've got that same mentality. And as you say, in his last, those fights, I think that he was badly treated in two of them. He could have certainly come away with a decision. Having said that, he's in with for me, one of the best out there in Bill, who's absolutely got the bit between his teeth at the moment. He's really focused on his training. He's focused on what he can get out of the game, what the game can do for him, and more importantly, he's got his love back for it. So I think we're going to get a really good fight. Martin knows what he's got to do. He knows Bill backwards. Bill's, I think, is only going to get better. So I think it's going to be exciting. And with Terry's in with a 6'1", awkward guy, undefeated fighter, Yank. So that's going to be a tough one. But I think Terry's a very underestimated fighter, and a couple of fights he's had, he's looked extremely good. But he's been struggling with this injury for a while. It's now hopefully gone away, and he can make this year a big year for himself. Starting off with a win against a good fighter in Hooker.
Maurice agrees around 6'1". Flanagan just asked me for a bit of sparring, actually, Frank.
I thought he asked you to change the light bulbs.
One of the two, I couldn't remember. And just talking about Mike Murray, we're forgetting he went 11 rounds with Gennady Golovkin as well, Frank.
Yeah, and they were tough rounds, and I think Dominic Ingram made a point in the press conference. Had it been in the UK, I'm not saying he was going to win the fight, but I think he would have gone the distance. They stopped it in Monte Carlo, but he was tough, and I think he was the first one to take Golovkin that distance.
Yeah.
So, and that was a younger Golovkin back then. And I think, Golovkin seemed to be boxing better then. But anyway, cut long story short, he done well, and now we've got a Brit fighting a Brit. There's nothing better than that. There's a lot of buzz about that. We've got two guys in fighting for a world title, coming from the same place, same islands. So I'm really looking forward to seeing the fight, and I think it's going to be a special night.
What do you think when you hear Billy Joe Saunders say that he may, like I said, only be able to sort of maintain this kind of standard of training and living for his career for another 2 years, Frank? What do you think?
That's what it is. But I've been in this business a million years now, and I've heard fighters saying, "I'm going to retire when I'm 25. I'm going to retire when I'm 28." Who knows what's going to happen in 2 years' time? You never know where you are, who's around. There may be a massive big fight that comes into being. Anything can happen. All I care about is the fight in April and him keeping his focus for the rest of the year, and the rest will just fall into place, and it'll be what it'll be.
You said in the press conference that it's not that you think that Canelo and his team don't want it, you said you know.
Oh, he don't want it. I know from within the camp, they do not want that fight at all. And I've got to be honest, if I was them, I wouldn't want it. He's got the style to beat him, and he's got the balls to do it.
And in regards to Golovkin?
Well, I'm hoping, with them, they may see it a different way. Who knows? We had, boring old story. We had it signed once, the contract. We signed our contract, sent it back. The fight never happened. I'm hoping that they'll step up to the plate. It's a tough fight on the 5th of May. I think Golovkin will be favourite going into it. And if provided they get, hopefully, they get some sensible judges there, we get a proper decision. And if he comes through it, Golovkin, I'm sure I'd prefer Golovkin to win. And Eric and Oscar are pals of mine. I've got a lot of respect for them. But I only say that because I think I've got more chance of making a fight with Golovkin than I have with Canelo. So that's where I'm at. That's pure selfish reasons for Bill. But hopefully, he comes through. And they've got to look at who are they going to fight. Who's there to fight? He's the guy with the piece of it. Well, up to now, probably don't get beat by Martin. He's the guy with that piece of jigsaw, which is the WBO title. So you want to be a unified champion, you need that belt. and he's an undefeated fighter, and he's been to the other side of the pond, gone out there, beat Lemieux, their fighter, done it in his own backyard, upset everybody at HBO, upset everybody on the promotion because they were all funking for their man to win. They thought their man was going to win. They paid for the privilege of getting Bill out there, and I knew Bill 100% would beat him, but he's done what he's had to do now. But I just hope he's not scared them all off.
Billy Joe's words were his win was good for stock, bad for business.
Well, you know, I hear what he says and I understand that what he says, and he may have a point there. However, what is good for business and good for British boxing is Billy Joe Saunders at 100%. You know, showing British public what he's capable of, showing the British public they've got a fighter there who's capable of being one of the best in the last few years, as far as being compared with you know, some of our British greats. He should be up there with them. Now he's got to stamp his authority. He's got to show everybody that he is serious. And so that the Lemieux performance wasn't a flash in the pan, and cement that legacy, because he is a quality fighter. He's been doing it since he's a kid. He's done it at every level. He's never been found wanting. He's gone into fights where I know he's been 60-70% fit. In one case, within there, in terrible condition, which I was pissed off with, but he still went ahead. Otherwise, he'd have been stripped of his title. But he's, you know, this guy at 100% is, you know, I think he's unbeatable.
Frank, you said in the press conference you're going to make an announcement on the undercard for the April 14th card. Any idea who could feature on that?
No, it'll be some of our young prospects, but there'll be a couple of good fights on there as well. You know, there will be some more competitive fights on there.
You put out a statement yesterday. Unfortunately, the show at the Copper Box has to be cancelled, Frank.
Yeah. Well, we run into a wall. You know, Teti got injured, which was a real killer because, you know, he's based here now, he's fighting out of the UK, so that was a killer. We lost the main event, we had a problem with opponents for Bradley Skeet, and then we thought we had a decent one, he fell through, and Daniel Dubois has gone down with flu. So, you know, we're trying to maintain a standard and keeping it going, and we're very conscious, and I'm conscious of, you know, the public's reactions to shows, and I see some people a bit negative about it. So, you know what, if that's how it is, then I'd much rather postpone it, push it back a couple of weeks and deliver something better. The problem we had was finding a venue. The Copper Box weren't available. So we're going to go on the 24th of February, smaller venue at York Hall, but all the guys will be fighting on that. Except for Teti, and Teti won't be fighting because he won't be ready.
So will Dubois, Yard be on that bill? What about Zelfa Barrett? Will he be on that bill?
Zelfa Barrett will be on there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They're out, all our young stars will be out there blazing.
The young guns.
Yeah, the young guns.
Obviously, you announced as well this week. This week was it? What's the day today? It's on Thursday. Yes, it was this week. Selby and Warrington finally done.
Finally, yeah.
Finally
so that's done. Going on the 19th of May, and we're going to announce the venue next week. Yeah. Cracking fight, another cracking fight. You know, I mean, the shows we've announced, I hope and believe that the public.
Frampton, Danair.
Yeah, Danair. I mean, they are quality matches. They're all good fights. That, you know, we're not. You know, we're trying to maintain a certain standard when possible, and. That again is a great fight. You know, Josh has earned the right to be there. We've struggled to make that fight, but we got him into a position where they had to fight him by making that final eliminator to get him into the mandatory position. Did that, and then everything else fell in place afterwards.
Frank, obviously there was some talk a few weeks ago of Liam Smith possibly challenging for the world title again.
It's not possible. He is.
He is.
He is fighting
Saddam Ali.
Saddam Ali. He's definitely fighting him, and I'm negotiating at the moment with Golden Boy to decide where the fight's going to take place. But that is happening, 100%.
Is there a possibility that could feature on the Canelo and Golovkin card?
Anything's possible at the moment. We're working on it. We'll see what happens.
Great opportunity for Liam Smith again.
Yeah, great to go out there. I mean, Liam's a quality fighter. He's a great operator, and I want to see Liam get in there, be 100%. He gets in there, he's 100%. He's a tough act. So it's a tough fight against Ali. Ali went in there and upset the odds by beating Cotto. But Liam is no slouch. He's a good quality fighter. He's been with me from day one, and I want to deliver for him. And hopefully, I'm sure he'll deliver when he gets in the ring.
Frank, I will ask you obviously about there was a lot of talk about the dates clashing between your show with Carl Frampton,
Yeah.
and also Matchroom Show with Amir Khan. So yeah, just your thoughts. I know you've
My
said a lot
thoughts
of
on
it.
I mean, it's not. Listen. It's hard enough. This is a tough game anyway. You don't want to be clashing. What's the point? It's no good to anybody. You've got to make a decision on the night. The fans have got to make a decision what they're going to watch, where they're going to be. And I don't think that's fair, and I think it's disrespectful to the fans. I mean, we announced our date. I'm disappointed that Sky are going the same night, but you know what they are. And sometimes people treat boxing like it's a bastard sport rather than giving it the respect it deserves and giving the fans the respect they deserve. You wouldn't get Arsenal and Tottenham, one on BT and one on Sky at exactly the same time on the same night, nor would you get Man City and Man United. It just doesn't happen. You get top rugby, just wouldn't be happening. Tennis tournaments, it wouldn't be happening. So why we'd let it happen, I don't know. And all we're doing is killing ourselves because, at the end of the day, TV companies look at ratings. So if you've had a great rating, whoever you are, whether it's me or Sky, their previous fight, whoever's fighting that night, in the case of Carl Frampton, it's him. So he got a good rating last time. So if he gets a 10% drop because people are watching the other side, they look at the rating, oh, he's not done so well this time. It doesn't reflect what's happening. That's us hurting ourselves. And that also goes for the other side, because people are going to make a choice. Are they going to watch Amir Khan's comeback fight against Joe Blow from Alamo, or are they going to watch a real fight in Carl Frampton and Donnell, which is a real... No one's going to beat that fight. That's a great fight. But it's a shame that Amir's fighting that night, but it is what it is.
I was reading the other day in 2017 there was 3 different date clashes between yourselves and Sky and Matchroom, which in the course of the year doesn't sound like a lot, but
well, it is. If you think you're doing, I don't know, 15, 20 shows, it's quite a bit.
Then it is, yeah.
So it's like 20% of your thing. It shouldn't happen. It's 52 weeks of the year, right? So take out the December and August because they're late December, August, their Christmas and all that stuff. But there's plenty of weeks there for it to be sensible for everybody. I just don't think it makes any sense. We're very conscious, and I want the best I want the best exposure for my boxers. I want the best for my promotions. So we will try, and I think we're pretty good at doing it. We will see what's on. There's no shows on that date. Then provided there's a venue available, let's grab that date. Because that's what makes sense. In the clashing, it makes no sense at all.
Frank, we saw from your Twitter account put a statement saying that you're applying for Tyson Fury's licence with the British Boxing Board of Control. Is there any update on that at the moment?
He's got just produced some documents that the board have asked for, and he will do that. And I'm quite sure he will be. His suspension's being lifted pending him producing certain things they requested, I should say. So he'll do that.
Can you make any comment whether he has signed a deal with you or not, Frank?
I can't make any comments at the moment. First of all, I want to get him licensed.
Yeah. Okay. Because there's rumours of him fighting in April as well. This is the internet rumours.
I hope that happens. I mean, he wants to fight. He's in serious training, as we all know. He's working really hard, and he's got the bit between his teeth, and he's got some. It seems to me he's got some. He's got some focus on his career. He's got some direction, and he's obviously very keen, and he's got the momentum going at the moment. He's lost a lot of weight. And I just think he needs to get in the ring as soon as possible. It'd be great for the British boxing when he does that.
There is a perception, Frank, that if Tyson Fury is to sign with you, then the Anthony Joshua fight and Fury fight is unlikely to happen.
Why?
It's just a perception.
But why? Anthony Joshua's contract runs out with Matchroom, doesn't it? I'm not sure. I'm told it's around in the autumn. So he might want to do his own thing. He won't want to make the fight. Why would it not happen? Why would he go on both channels or go on one channel? Let the two channels put up the best offer where it's got to take place. The name of the game is to get the fight that the fans want to see. And Anthony Joshua is his own man. I know he's his own man. I know that and he's obviously got views of where he's going and what he's going to be doing when that contract comes to an end. Who knows? He may renew it. He may not. Maybe Matchroom, they're sort of. Maybe they might be their nails might be red out of there right now, chewing away at and wondering where they're going to do it. Who knows what he's going to do? But the fact of the matter is, the fight will happen. It will happen. Of course, it happens. But
if we're to assume that he's with Matchroom and Fury's with you, you believe the cross broadcasters could happen?
They put fights on on HBO and Showtime out there. I mean, listen, we're compared to them and their TV out there. I mean, they're massive audiences, but they've done shows together. Why wouldn't we do it? I'm not against making the fight. I'm not saying we've got to promote it or you've got it. That's not about. The name of the game is to make the fight, get the fight made. The rest of it, where it's broadcast, who promotes it, it's just sitting down around the table and sorting it out. Get the fight. What do the fans want? The fans want the fight. I know that Tyson Fury desperately wants to fight. He wants to fight. Listen, this guy never lost his belts in the ring. He never lost his belts in the ring. I mean, when you look at it, it's a crime. He did not get beat in the ring. Those belts, he vacated them. And out of that, Anthony Joshua's in the right place at the right time. I mean, if you could ever think to somebody, the stars were all aligned and everything, all works out for you, that is where he's at. But I've got to tell you something. We all know the fight the fans want to see is them two. Get those two guys in the ring together, because you're going to find out then who is the true champion. Everyone's got an opinion. I've got an opinion. Everyone's got an opinion, it may be. But there's only one way they're going to find out, and that's fight.
Just finally, Frank, obviously just coming on to Anthony Yard. Obviously, a lot of people still talking about they want to see that fight between him and Frank Buglioni. Are we likely to see that? I know you.
We made offers. We made him an offer.
Will you revisit that idea again?
Yeah, we did. We made him another offer. I don't think we even heard anything back. It ain't going to happen, is it? Frank don't want it. I know. Well, if Frank wants it, then we should easily make it. People around him don't want it. You know why? Does Don Charles want it? I don't think Don wants it. I love Don. He's a nice guy. I mean, I've worked with him over the years. But I know Don, and Don don't want that fight. He's not told me he don't want it, but if he does want it, it's there. It's switched on Don, or whoever's dealing with it. Frank, pick it up and we'll do it.
Pick up the phone.
Pick up the phone. Communication.
Absolutely. All right, Frank, have you got anything else you'd like to add?
No, just wish everybody a belated Happy New Year, and I hope we're going to put some good fights on for the fans that they want to see. That's where we're at.
Good night at the Arsenal last night, Frank.
It was good, wasn't it? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was good. I don't know. Obviously, it's the League Cup. It's where it is in the priority list.
We're down to now the Aribo Cup, or whatever it's called. That's where we are.
The Carabao Cup.
Caribou Cup, but whatever it's called. But you know what? That tells you, you sort of think you're grasping at straws now, aren't you? But they did well. They gritted their teeth and they come through it. But you know what? The whole situation still needs to change. It ain't going to get any better. It ain't going to get any better. They need to change it. It's another wasted season, and all we'll be talking about. Wait till next season. We've been doing that for God knows how long now. Want to win the Premiership and want to be in the Champions League and want to win the Champions League. And the only way you're going to do that in this state-of-the-art stadium that they've got is to go and invest in some good players. And you need a change. You need a change of management, and you need and I think maybe a change of owner. Actually, you should have to change of owner, because then the owner's going to come in and do what he's got to do.
Why don't you put in a bid for it, Frank?
I'll tell you, if I can lend a few quid up to you, I'll have a go at that.
All right, we'll talk numbers. Frank, there's something I want to ask you about in relation to Tyson Fury again. We've heard a lot of noise from Shannon Briggs. Has there been any discussion with Shannon Briggs and yourself?
What's his name? Mike Marley, who represents him in the States. He's rang a couple of times. Who knows? But it's just whether the border control would allow him in the country. He was banned only for a while, so I don't know. But the most important thing at the moment is for Tyson to get his license. Until he gets his license, nothing means.
It's all irrelevant. Yeah.
It is. You've got. That's the most important thing. So as soon as he gets that license back, then things will move fairly quickly. Then.
All right. Well, listen, Frank Warren, thank you very much for talking to Eiffel TV, and I'm sure. Have you got a press conference next week in Leeds, or? Yeah, we're up in Leeds next week, and we're announcing the venue. Okay. Fights and get the two guys together. No problem. Good. We'll catch up with you then. You certainly will. Thank you very much.